Coming up, the latest election results as we await a winner in the race for the White House.
And the steps one school district is taking to get back on track after another delay to in-person learning. Megan?
I am going to be tracking the first winter-like storm of the season, how much rain you can expect when it all arrives, and the winds will see accompany that.
And now the steps that one district is taking after they say students gathered at Halloween parties. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to ABC 10 News at 11. I'm Virginia Cha.
And I'm Jim Patton. As always, great to have you with us. A lot to get to this morning. We're going to begin with Jared Aarons in the 10 News Live Center with the very latest on the race for the White House. Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Virginia, we've got a lot of things going on right now in the race for the election. A lot of states releasing more votes over the last few hours. Nothing enough to move the electoral maps yet. No new states have been called. So Joe Biden still with 253 to Donald Trump's 214. But it gets interesting because he has increased his lead, the former vice president has, in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. And I want to focus on Georgia for just a second. The Georgia Secretary of State, you can see here, they've announced that Biden has about a 1,500 vote lead. But as we zoom in, they say they still have about 4,000 votes to count, plus any votes that come in from military by the end of today overseas. Here's what's interesting. Of those 4,100 votes left to count, 3,500 of them are from right here in Gwinnett County. And if you look at the vote totals there in Gwinnett, Joe Biden has been winning that county by about 18%. So as more votes come in from there, he could expand his lead even more. We'll look at some of the other numbers and we go to Pennsylvania, and you can see Pennsylvania right now. Joe Biden has a lead of about 13,000 votes. They say they still have 120,000 votes. There's been some debate in Pennsylvania about what they're doing with the late arriving ballots. Remember, the Supreme Court said that they are allowed to take ballots up to today as long as they were postmarked by Tuesday. Republicans have challenged that. Well, we found out this morning from the three biggest counties in Pennsylvania, that's Philadelphia, the Pittsburgh area, those biggest areas, that they actually haven't even been counting those late arriving ballots yet. They have set them aside and won't count them until after today. So that means that Joe Biden is winning this race even without the late arriving ballots. Meanwhile, over in Nevada, you take a look at where this stands right now. Joe Biden has increased his lead to about 21,000. Clark County says they will update their numbers again at about 4 this afternoon. They still have something like 60,000 votes left to count. And we look at Arizona as well. You can see in Arizona, Donald Trump is shrinking Joe Biden's lead. It's down to about 44,000 votes right now. But the way the numbers are looking out, a lot of analysts are saying that we've heard from ABC News, it may not be enough. He needs to be winning about 60% of the vote. The latest dump that came in from Maricopa County showed that the president was only winning about 52% of the votes that came in. So he has a lot of ground to make up with not many votes left to count, only a couple 100,000 in Arizona. Joe Biden feeling really good about his chances. He has plans to address the nation tonight in primetime. You'll be able to watch that right here on ABC 10 News. In the Live Center, Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. As we wait for those close races to be called, the president continuing to call into question the counting process.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
President Trump yesterday suggesting, without giving evidence, that election officials are counting what he calls illegal votes. Election officials in Georgia this morning saying they're preparing for a recount because the tally is so tight, but maintain the process has been legitimate throughout.
In Georgia, this process is and will remain open and transparent to monitors. We are committed to doing anything and everything to maintaining trust in our elections process for every Georgian, regardless of partisan preference.
Joe Biden, meanwhile, responding to the president overnight, tweeting, quote, "No one is going to take our democracy away from us, not now, not ever. America has come too far, fought too many battles, and endured too much to let that happen." A reminder again, we will have Joe Biden's address to the country here on ABC 10 News later this evening. And if you want to get the latest updates on those election counts, you can get alerts right on your phone. Be sure to download our free ABC 10 News smartphone app.
Roller coaster continues for high school parents in the Vista Unified School District after school officials learned about multiple house parties last weekend, postponing their return to in-person learning. Vanessa Paz joins us from Rancho Buena Vista High and why students there think they are on a path to staying open.
Students here at Rancho Buena Vista High unfazed despite other schools around them pivoting back to digital learning.
I think our school has done pretty good. Everyone's wearing their masks. Everyone's following the rules. So I think our school's done pretty good compared to any of the other schools.
Tyler Knowles is a sophomore at Rancho Buena Vista High, the only high school in his district still holding in-person classes after sister schools Vista and Mission Vista closed for quarantine following positive COVID cases, then for longer after the district found out students were holding house parties Halloween weekend, and this happening within weeks of campuses in the district opening back up. Carrie Avila, president of Vista Teachers Association, said the district wasn't prepared to open, and proof of that slowly starting to show.
If we are allowing the schools to open up with full class sizes and not social distance, it undermines everything that we're trying to do to go back to an orange.
Right now, she said high school classrooms have desks closer than 6 feet, making it impossible to social distance.
I have some classes that it's just 40 kids and we're all clustered together, and I got some classes where it's 20 kids and we're all spread out.
In a letter to ABC 10 News, Vista Unified's Superintendent Matt Doyle said their team is working close with Dr. Wilma Wooten to discuss concerns families and staff have. In part, he said solutions could include minimizing students in classrooms to sit further apart and making use of outdoor space holding classes outside. While some families are disappointed, others like Ian Horst thinks the district is doing the best they can with what they have.
They were supposed to open for a certain amount of time and then see how it went, and I think they waited long enough to open, and I think they're doing a great job.
Vanessa Paz, ABC 10 News.
Now, as we've been telling you, San Diego County could slip into the most restrictive purple tier by next week if our numbers don't change. If that does happen, it would not force schools already reopened to shut down, but it would affect schools that have not reopened yet. Even though all schools in the county have been allowed to reopen since September, not all districts have done that. So if San Diego moves into the purple tier, schools will have to wait to reopen until we are at least back in the red tier.
You can already feel the change in the air. Let's get out to Megan Perry with a look at when this rain is going to hit us. Hey, Megan.
Hey, Jim, that's right. It feels so much cooler outside compared to yesterday. Yesterday was very summer-like. Today, more fall-like, and this weekend feeling more like winter as this very cold storm filters in from the north of us. And check it out, we're actually already seeing a surge of moisture coming in from the south that's just kind of being tapped into that storm from the north of us. Thunderstorm activity popping up just to the east of San Diego County. There is a slim chance for a thunderstorm here in San Diego, though the better chance is going to be over our coastal waters. Of course, we'll be watching that threat through the weekend. Today, into this evening, after about 5 o'clock mainly, we'll see that chance for a few spotty showers. This is going to be out ahead of the bulk of the rain that will arrive tomorrow. Peak timing in the morning into the early afternoon, tapering off in the evening, and then another round of rain comes in on Sunday. I'll show you that using 10 News Futurecast and pinpoint how much rain you can expect when I come back with your full forecast. Virginia?
Thank you, Megan. With lots of rain on the way, residents who live near burn scars have to deal with the possibility of flooding. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell checked into the potential of that happening.
While the visible reminders of the wildfires may be gone, fire officials say what's left behind can still cause problems, especially as we get rain this weekend. After an intense wildfire happens, the burned vegetation and charred soil forms a water-repellent layer, blocking water absorption, which means next time it rains, there's potential for flooding. And that's why CAL FIRE officials want to remind residents to prepare before the rain arrives.
Anybody in the recently burned areas, especially near the Valley Fire, are prepared for any kind of mud flows or debris flows, that everybody has sandbags and has the area around their home prepped so that everything's looking okay.
In September, the county gave residents free rolls and supplies to make sandbags so people could begin their preps for the rainy season. The city is also offering sandbags for residents. They'll be giving them out at the following locations. They'll be doing this Friday from 1 to 7 and this weekend from noon to 2. Remember to show up with your mask and your ID, and they're only giving you the bags. You do have to find your own SIN to fill them. Reporting from Alpine, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Happening right now in the 10 News Live Center, CAL FIRE is giving us an update on the progress of the San Dimas fire. That broke out just east of Los Angeles this morning. This is some footage from earlier today, and you can see in it helicopters making water drops as they attack this fire. We just heard from CAL FIRE that they have stopped forward rate of spread. We can take the video and show you some more of this footage of the fight this morning. Great work by CAL FIRE workers to keep this from threatening any homes or any buildings. It was spreading pretty quickly, going from about 2 to 50 acres over the course of about an hour this morning. Again, though, forward rate of spread has been stopped. Now they are working on getting full containment. In the Live Center, Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.